Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. He's Jimmy the Bag. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Tuesday, January 9th, 6 o'clock Eastern Time edition. Of course, Jimmy the Bag and I nailed the college football game for the most part yesterday. You know, you took the first half under to go along with your full game under. The full game under was a little bit unlucky. Things are going okay. We're going to give our college basketball picks from the card tonight. I know Jimmy the Bag dug deep into this. Was a juicy card for you, right, Jimmy the Bag?
I absolutely love this card.
All right. I'm a little bit behind on my college basketball research. I do have a couple plays that I'm liking. And once again, I did get up to everything up to the 8:30 games. So I'll give my picks on those games that I've got, and then anything after that, once again, I will be tweeting out, and those picks count just as much as all the picks I give in this show, right, Jimmy the Bag?
Absolutely, they do.
All right. So let's not bullshit around. Let's get right into it. We've got two 6:30 games, of course, coming up in college basketball. Jimmy the Bag, do you have anything to say about either of the 6:30 games? Let's start with those.
Yeah, they are Georgetown, St. John's, Penn State, Indiana, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Now, I'm a little concerned on my Penn State pick because Max is on Indiana, and usually when he's opposite of me, I cut it. But I'm not cutting this play. I am sticking with Penn State. Indiana has lost 6'10", 249-pound forward Deron Davis indefinitely to a leg injury. It's a big loss. 6'7" senior Colin Hartman is questionable with the shoulder injury. That leaves all the rebounding duties for Indiana to leading scorer Juwan Morgan. Penn State's bigs Lamar Stevens and Mike Watkins will go after him every play. You guys know how much I like when I have two bigs that can go after one big.
Sure.
Indiana lost by 10 points to Wisconsin when Morgan was in foul trouble. I expect Lamar Stevens and Mike Watkins to do the exact same thing to Morgan. Tony Carr's had two bad shooting games in a row. I don't expect the 49% three-point shooter to have three bad games in a row. I'm on I'm on Penn State, excuse me.
Okay, the line has obviously all those injuries that we know for Indiana. The market is aware of. Curiously, the line has moved in Indiana's favor. It's now -1 or pick 'em, so we can give you +1, Jimmy, on that one for Penn State. You want that one?
I would rather get a plus money line if I could.
Okay,
instead.
it'll be just +100 or something like that.
Well, if I just get 100, I'll take the +1. But if I can get a couple,
let's see. No way. All right, let's see. In Penn State, yeah, +100 is the best we could.
Okay, I'll take the +1.
All right, money line point spreads. Jim is going to take Penn State +1, and once again, that line has moved in Indiana's favor, which is kind of telling. Although, as we know, that's not always very predictive. +1, -105 is the best line right now at Pinnacle. At Bookmakers. So
and Max is saying that Hartman is playing. He was questionable, so that might be a part of the line movement because they definitely need another big after Deron's out. Because Juwan Morgan by himself, he's got to focus on other things rather than just getting every loose board.
Penn State +1, -105. A lot of people saying that they like Penn State. Raul Veloso says, congrats from Portugal, guys. Raul Veloso, nice. We're hoping to visit Portugal at some point and do a Loshak in the Bag show from Portugal on location. Probably not going to happen, but we're hoping for it. I was thinking about the first half over on this one. What do you think? What do you think? How do you think the injuries impact scoring here, Jim?
I think there will be more scoring. I think there will be more space. Yes, I agree. What is the line that you're getting?
Well, it's a little bit up there. 67, could easily land on 60. If the shooting's off, then it probably won't get there, but I will throw that one on there as an official pick. I will take the Indiana game. First half over 67 +100. Over 67 +100, and that is at BetOnline and SportsBetting.ag. Over 67, a little bit up there, but I will take that one. Then Georgetown, St. John's. Both teams have been kind of crappy ATS recently, particularly St. John's. Particularly St. John's. I was thinking about maybe taking a shot with Georgetown here, getting 6.5. What do you think? Two unreliable teams, though, Jim.
Two unreliable teams. I wanted to make a play on this, and I ended up not making a move. I kind of liked St. John's. Georgetown just got destroyed by a guard-strong team in Creighton. Their starting point guard, Jonathan Mulmore, has now put up 2 goose eggs in 2 straight games. He does distribute the ball nicely. I started feeling like Shamari Pons was going to eat these guys up, but when I took a closer look at St. John looking so bad versus DePaul, I decided that I can't have faith in them covering such a big spread, and I'm leaving this game off. Yeah,
that game has second half written all over it to my eye. I would be leaning Georgetown +6.5. It has gone down. It opened at about 8, I think. Now it's down to 6.5. I'm going to hold off on it for now. All right, let's get to some other picks. Jimmy the Bag, what do you want to hit us with first? Let's start with you.
My favorite play of the day is Nebraska. I like this play more and more and more the more I studied it. I know Max is on it as well. 11-6 Nebraska is 5 losses to teams in the top 50 RPI. They've covered 6 straight at home. Nebraska's only loss at home was to Kansas by 1 point. The Badgers are 1-7 versus top 100 RIPs, and the Cornhuskers are 77th. They only have 1 legitimate big in Ethan Happ. Nebraska has 3. And Copeland, Shamanga, the Canadian kid, and Roby. I like this play the most out of everything on the card tonight.
All right, that line has gotten bet down. It opened at 3.5. It's now down to a -1.5, -108. We can give you, Jim. This line, that game I did not have a chance to look into deeply. It's very interesting though. At first glance, remember the guy who said that Wisconsin turned a corner? We might look at them to cover in some of their upcoming home games for sure. To be undervalued in some of their home games. What do you think?
I think so, but I think Nebraska's still undervalued, and I think Nebraska's undervalued at home. They weren't a good team last year. The market still sees them as they were too much. Yes, even if Wisconsin has turned the corner, I like the spot of Nebraska being at home. It's my McGogster says definite lean on the Cornhuskers. Bookie Crusher says Nebraska 6-1 against the spread at home. This is my favorite play of the entire day.
Okay, -1.5, -108. I will look into that a little bit deeply, and if I wind up tailing all you guys, I will tweet that out, and if I tweet it out, it will go on my official record. All right, let me look at some of these games, some of the things I was thinking of. Well, I did take a shot with did you look into Akron Buffalo at all, Jim?
I did look into that.
All right, well, I took a shot with Akron +6.5. The line's gotten bet up. Obviously, Buffalo's a very impressive team. Is someone out for Akron? Why is this line headed up?
I will take a second look at the injuries. I did not notice. Let me get to so many games. God damn. Let me get to my notes here.
Just let me know what you think about Buffalo, Akron. I was thinking that Akron, as a home dog, might have a little bit of value here.
I thought Akron has some value, too. I just love the way Buffalo's playing with Wes Clark.
Yeah.
He's been back for 5 games. He's changed his team offensively. He's averaging 18.8 points, 5.8 assists. He gets Nick Perkins these easy buckets when he drives and dishes. I like Akron. They're led by guards Malcolm DeVivier and Jamon Ivey. They're both very good distributors. They combine for 7.8 assists a game. Daniel Utomi leads the team offensively at 18 points, 6.8 boards. And I've got the injuries right here. And I'm going to get to Akron.
I don't think anyone is out for Akron.
No, no one is out.
I think the line just headed up. All right, I'm going to take them +6.5, -105. +6.5, -105. That's the line, best line right now at Bookmaker. I'll throw that one on there as an official play. I might throw on the first half as well in a bit. What else do you want to hit us with, Jim?
Oh, I've got lots of plays that I'm loving right now. Why don't I go from the very start? Well, actually, let's go with the games I like the most. I like Virginia tonight. I think they can win by double digits. Virginia's 14-1 and a perfect 10-0 at home. In their 61-49 win over North Carolina, the Cavaliers' defense held the Tar Heels to 29.6 shooting, forced 19 turnovers. Roy Williams said it was the best defense anybody had ever played against them, maybe ever. Virginia has held 7 of their 15 opponents to under 50 points this year. No team has shot better than 50% against them. They're first in the nation, allowing just 52.5 points per game. The Orange just lost to a Notre Dame team without Matt Farrell and Bonzi Colson. Syracuse has not scored more than 68 points in their last 5 games. I think Virginia can easily hit double-digit victory.
Okay, highly debatable game here. Of course, we have seen Syracuse over the past bunch of years have a lot of like 52-35 type wins, right, over teams like this. On the other hand, Boston College played them close, played them really tight, right?
Yes, but Virginia is a team that will continually hurt people. They're going to break team spirits, and they're going to do it at home often.
And they did that to Virginia Tech. I took Virginia Tech on the second half in that game, and Virginia just dominated them in the second half, just drove a dagger through their heart. I was like, whoa. This is a dangerous team right here. You know what I'm saying?
And we've seen their ranking go up to number 3.
Because my numbers said that Virginia Tech was a good play, a great play on the second half, and it wasn't even close. Virginia just drove the dagger through their heart. And imposed their defensive will upon them. All right, so 9.5 -106 is the best line we can give you right now. Jimmy the Bag. All right, what else am I thinking about in this? Well, did you look at Northern Illinois Bowling Green at all? Probably not, right?
I did not get to that.
You did not. I was just thinking that the under might be a decent play there. It is kind of a high total, but I think that this might be a little bit more modest scoring than the market's giving credit for. 153 across the board. Not much line movement on this one, and I will take that one. Northern Illinois Bowling Green under 153, and I also might throw on the first half under on that one as well. Oh no, the Greek has 153.5. I'm taking that line. Every half point matters, Jim. You know that, right?
Oh, I
it's 153 market wide, open at 154. The Greek still has 153.5, so I'll take that one. Northern Illinois Bowling Green under 153.5. What else do you want to give us, Jim?
Well, you guys know I took Texas Tech in the early show, doubled up on them, which is something I rarely do. First half and full game. I would have got a better line if I had waited. That's a little concerning. And because of that, I'm going to take Seton Hall as well. The Pirates have their highest ranking since 2001 and are coming off a 90-87 win at Butler. The reason why I like Texas Tech so much is because I think they can defend Trae Young. You know, an interesting stat that I didn't even drop on the early show, Trae Young averages 10.2 assists a game, while Texas Tech is third in the nation, allowing just 8.7 assists a game to full teams. I like Seton Hall here. Angel Delgado was a beast. In their win over Butler, 28 points, 15 boards, 6 assists. Andrew Rousey's coming off a terrible game in their 10-point loss. Marcus Howard followed up his school record 52-point game with a 37-point game against Villanova. I think he'll have a tough time doing it against Seton Hall's defense. Marquette is fourth in the Big East with 83.9 points per game and second in three-point shooting, but they are last in the league in rebounding at just 32.1 points per game. Opponents are averaging 76.8 points on them and hitting 47.3% of their field goals. Seton Hall has won 5 straight road games this season. This is the 5th time Marquette will face a ranked opponent this season, and they have lost each and every time. I'm on Seton Hall.
Very interesting. Okay, pick 'em. Minus 110 is the best line we can give you right there. Okay, let me see. What else did I take here? Bets that I was thinking about. Let me see. I was thinking about St. Louis getting a bunch of points. St. Louis is a very tricky team. At times they look awful. At times they look good. It's now up to 6.5 or 7, and I was thinking that St. Louis might be a play there against Rhode Island. Did you look at that one, Jimmy the Bag?
I did look at this game closely, and I am on the other side. I am on Rhode Island.
Tell me why.
I know Max is on Rhode Island. Rams have won 6 straight. They're hoping to get third leading scorer Stanford Robinson back tonight. He's questionable with a toe injury. By seeing the line movement, I'm guessing he will not be available. The Billikens are 334th in scoring average, just 64.7 points per game, and they are terrible at distributing the ball at 241st on the boards. 4 players play over 30 minutes a game. Only 9 players have seen the floor all year. Rhode Island's guards can run them ragged. Their tallest player, DJ Foreman, and biggest player is not always in the rotation. I like taking Rhode Island in games when their opposition can't take advantage of their lack of size. This is one of those situations. Jared Terrell and E.C. Matthews will control this game. I am on Rhode Island.
That's an official pick.
As an official
pick.
Okay,
let me see. It's 7 market wide, except for UH that does have 6.5. So we'll give you that one. Rhode Island minus 6.5, minus 110. That is the current line at the
our
wager.
Man Ibrahim out of Norway just says big man's play of the day is Rhode Island minus 6.5.
I knew the line looked a little bit fishy. Okay, big man on campus. Everyone like it. Everyone I respect like in Rhode Island, and even a few people I don't respect like in Rhode Island. Everyone like in Rhode Island here.
Oh, Mark Lathrop. I'm on Rhode Island pretty big today.
Wow, there's another. Wow, amazing. Everyone's on Rhode Island.
Cup of Sun. I like Rhode Island too.
Wow.
Aspire to a late. Rhode Island is my second favorite play tonight.
Unbelievable. So there you got some smart guys loving Rhode Island. You got some dumb guys loving Rhode Island. You got some people who are like just average intelligence loving Rhode Island. Everyone's loving Rhode Island here.
JP Fahey's on Rhode Island. Nasty Nate is in Rhode Island on Rhode Island.
Holy shit. Wow. We'll see how this turns out. All right. Well, I'm definitely not going to take St. Louis the line. According to my numbers, it looked a little bit fishy, and now I understand why. All right, Jimmy the Bag. That was my suggested game. Now let's go back to you. What do you like here, Jim?
I decided after study that I am with you guys on Tulane. I will take them on the money line and not the minuscule points. Tulane has a nice mix of size and skill. They're led by 6'6" junior guard Melvin Frazier, who averages 16.9 points, 5.8 boards, 3.4 assists. He does a little bit of everything and can create matchup nightmares for opposing guards. 6'8", 225-pound senior Cameron Reynolds averages 16.7 points, 6.7 boards. He combines with 6'9", 240-pound sophomore Samir Sehik to do a lot of damage inside. They distribute the ball well, and they hit 37% from 3. Memphis turns the ball over way too much and shoots poorly. They hit 43% of their field goals, 29% from 3. They are 257th in the nation on the boards. I think this is a good spot for Tulane. I understand why you guys were on them in the early show. After study, I jumped on as well.
Are you on the money line?
I do.
Best line plus 155 at a whole bunch of places. All right, I'm still feeling my way out around this card. What else was I thinking about here? Let me just examine some of these. Okay, I was also thinking about Ohio minus the points at Ball State. Did you look at that one, Jim?
I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, I mean, Ball State, of course, had the big win over Indiana, I believe it was. So Ball State has had some good results, but I was thinking that Ohio might be the play here, and I will throw that one on there. I'll take Ohio. It's a 1.5, but the Greek has -1, -115, so I will take Ohio there, -1, -115 over Ball State. I'm wondering, I saw someone already post that they like the over in that one. I'm wondering if anyone agrees with that one or disagrees with that one. Let's see. Let me just scan the comments here to find some Ohio Ball State opinions. One guy definitely said, yeah, McGrogster says he likes the over in that one, and I am leaning. Yeah, Robbie Tagaloa says Ohio plays well at home. All right, I'm taking Ohio -1, -115. What else do you like, Jimmy the Bag?
Well, let's hit to some of my picks that I believe will be less popular. I'm taking Iowa State to cover this evening versus Kansas. The Jayhawks are coming off a big win versus TCU where their depth was tested in a way that surprised me. 7-footer as Abuike fouled out in just 13 minutes. After 3 straight games of 0 points, Mitch Lightfoot came in and played great. 9 points, 7 boards, 6 blocks in 26 minutes. Senior guard Devontae Graham scored 28 points, and the win is averaging 18.6 points per game. Iowa State will need to get a lot out of bigs Cameron Lard and Solomon Young. I think they will get a lot of them. They have to take advantage of the Jayhawks' lack of size. This is a huge spread that I think Iowa State can cover. I'm taking them on the full game.
Okay, +16 -105 is the best line at Bookmaker. It's 16 across the board, but Bookmaker has -105. That's an interesting call right there. Let me see what else I was thinking about. Let me just scan my picks and leans here. Let's see. Picks and leans here. Yeah, I guess let's talk about Texas A&M against Kentucky. Kentucky obviously having some issues, right? Texas A&M. The big question, I guess, is how many of those guys are back? Are they all back for Texas A&M?
Just Edmund Gilder, and he's been dealing with knee injuries, as we saw with McIntosh when he came back for Northwestern. He just didn't trust himself. He didn't trust his cuts. I'm afraid that Edmund Gilder is going to feel that same way. I would like to take Texas A&M. I wanted to do it, but I can't do it until I see Gilder be able to cut, take control of the game. Now, I think that Texas A&M's bigs, because their best big, Robert Williams, is going to play or is probable to play, expected to play after being having the flu. I think these bigs can really beat up on Kentucky and push them around. Calipari's already complained about how this young team showed a lack of toughness. But in saying that, I just can't pull the trigger. Okay. That was one of the games that I wanted to get to. I might throw on some first halves on some of the plays I've already given. Why don't you hit us with another game you think is interesting, Jimmy the Bag, while I scan some numbers here, thinking about things here. I do have another double-digit dog that I'm going to take, and I understand there's an issue with rebounding, but I'm taking Boston College to cover tonight against North Carolina. After back-to-back road losses to Florida State and Virginia, the Tar Heels have lost back-to-back games for the first time in almost 2 years. Joel Berry has surpassed Maye as the team's leading scorer. Boston College is coming off a nice 77-71 win at home over Wake Forest. Junior guard Jerome Robinson is a Raleigh native, and he's having a monster year, averaging 26.5 points in the 4 ACC games and is 4th in the conference, averaging 18.4 points per game overall. Deontay Hawkins, Nick Popovic, Stephen Mitchell can all bang with Maye inside. They're 36th in the league, averaging 40 boards a game. I know that North Carolina is going to be tough on the boards, but I think Boston College can handle it. I like this big double-digit points that I'm getting, and I'm taking it.
All right, Boston College, best line. Let's see, searching around here at Heritage +14 -110. BC +14 -110. Pinnacle and the Greek are still at 14, but -113 and -115, and everywhere else has down to a 13.5. Jim's going to take +14 -110, still at Heritage. Okay, anything else, Jim, that you're liking?
Yes, I like this game quite a bit. I am taking Tennessee. It's the in-state rivalry game versus Vanderbilt. Tennessee's coming off a giant 76-65 home win over Kentucky. 6'7", 241-pound sophomore forward Grant Williams leads the team in scoring and rebounding. They have a deep team. 7 players averaging 20 minutes or more, 5 players averaging 9 points or more. 6'5", 240-pounder Admiral Schofield had 20 points and 8 boards against Kentucky. Tennessee ranks 14th in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. Vanderbilt has just one big in the rotation, 6'10", 235-pound sophomore Jerry Baptiste, and he comes off the bench. They start 6'6" senior Jeff Robertson at center. They don't want to be doing that. He's their best player. He leads the team in points, rebounds, and minutes. He's basically taking one for the team to make the team better, and it's a spot that he should not be in. They shoot just 33% from 3. Their offense can't be counted on, and they have poor distribution. I'm on Tennessee this evening.
Okay, let's find you the best line here. Tennessee, let's find you the best line. Jimmy the Bag, Tennessee. Well, it's down. It opened at 3. It's now down to, the Greek has the Greek and Bet365 both have -1. So we'll give you Tennessee -1, -110. Some line movement in favor of Vanderbilt there. Of course, it is an in-state rivalry game. Always, every time they meet. -1, -110 is the best line there. All right, I made a couple of decisions. I'm gonna add on the first halves in both of the sides I took. I'm gonna take Akron first half against Buffalo +3.5 -104. That's at Pinnacle, and I'm also gonna take Ohio on the first half. No pick'ems. I'm gonna have to take -0.5 -110. That's market wide. So I'm taking both of those. Akron first half +3.5 -104, and Ohio first half -0.5 -110. What else is interesting to you, Jimmy the Bag?
Well, there's some huge games that we should talk about that I don't have plays on. Why don't we start with Butler at Creighton, but we can go through all of the great games. I've capped them all. The Bulldogs have lost to Xavier and Seton Hall since knocking off #1 Villanova. They were up 11 with less than 10 minutes to play versus Seton Hall. Defense has been a struggle in conference play as they have allowed an average of 89.5 points per game. Creighton is back to being a ranked team after 3 straight conference wins. On Saturday night, they won at Georgetown by 24 points. They hit 44% of their threes in that game. They took 36 of them. Creighton is 3rd in the country, averaging 90.2 points per game, led by their excellent guard duo of Marcus Foster and Kyrie Thomas. I just think that Butler can play with these guys. I don't find that I have an advantage taking Creighton, taking either side. I just think this is a sharp line, and I'm staying off this game.
Yeah, I'm staying off that game as of right now. I gave it a once-over, and I might have a play on it if I look more deeply into it. But as of right now, that game is going to be a pass for me. Did you look at all at Duquesne VCU, Jimmy the Bag?
I did not. I did not get a chance to go into the Duquesne game, and I wish I had have because they're an interesting group of players.
Yes, Duquesne, of course, has been playing great recently, and been playing very tight defense. I was leaning under, and I was leaning Duquesne, although didn't Maxwell Smart say that he didn't like Duquesne because it was a big public play tonight?
He did.
That's what he said, right. Yeah, I'm leaning Duquesne anyway. We'll see how it turns out, but I'm definitely also leaning to the under on that one. Let me see where the total on this one. Yeah, it's headed up, which concerns me. It opened at 142.5. It's now all the way up to a 145.5 or 146. The first half under is something I was thinking about as well. Let me find it's up to 69.5. Not totally understanding why that would be, but I respect the line movement, so I'm gonna wait and think. That is an 8 o'clock game, so if I look into it deeper, I will tweet out a play on it. As of right now, once again, Jimmy the Bag has given Tennessee -1, Penn State +1, Nebraska -1.5, Virginia -9.5, Iowa State +16, Tulane moneyline +155, Seton Hall pick'em, BC +14, and Rhode Island -6.5. And I've given Ohio -1, -115 in the first half, -0.5. Akron +6.5 in the first half, +3.5. The Indiana game first half over 67 +100, and the Bowling Green game under 153.5 -110. Anything else you want to bring to our attention, Jimmy the Bag?
Yes, I think we should talk about a couple of the Giant games that we haven't. We should talk about the Baylor game, and we should also talk about the Purdue game, and that's what's going on right now in the chat, the Purdue at Michigan game. I tried to make a play on this, but I just didn't feel like I had the right angle. I can understand why people would be on Michigan +2 tonight, and I can understand people taking Purdue as well. Purdue's won 11 straight. Purdue has 4 players in double figures. Guards Carson Edwards and Dakota Mathias are looking very good. And then senior bigs Isaac Hawes and Vincent Edwards are the reason why this team will be a force as we move forward. Michigan has won 7 straight games since they lost at Ohio State. Michigan must do its best not to look ahead to Saturday's matchup versus Michigan State. In saying all that, the more I studied this game, the more I could find reasons to like both teams and decided to stay off of it.
I was thinking about a shot with the over on that one, and I was thinking maybe a shot with the first half over. What's your take on scoring? The over has gotten bet significantly up. The first half over opened at 64. It's now up to 66 or 66.5. And I do agree with that line movement. What's your sense on the total, if anything, Jim?
I think there's going to be scoring in this game. I can understand the line movement going to in the direction that it has gone. I just don't feel like I can really trust, and haven't been very successful. I've been very hesitant to take totals. I'm trying to. I think I will do more and more as the year goes on. But I just don't feel comfortable giving a lean for you here.
Okay, on the total on this one. All right, I will throw on the first half over on this one, even though it's now up to a 66. I will take the first half over. Michigan first half over 66, and that is going to be minus 110 right now, which is the current line at Pinnacle and Bet365. Again, that total has been getting bet up significantly. And what's the other game? Oh yeah, the Baylor game against West Virginia. Obviously, West Virginia playing awesome. Baylor is very beatable and blowoutable. Even though West Virginia's been a very high scoring team most of the time, I was thinking maybe a shot with the under here. What are your thoughts on this game, Jim?
I think this is an exciting spot, and I almost took a shot with Baylor on the first half and decided that I just couldn't. I didn't have enough confidence in it. West Virginia's won 14 straight. They've not been number 2 in the nation since 1959. 6'5" freshman forward Teddy Allen's become a weapon off the bench. In his last 3 games, he's gone 24 for 34 from the field for 57 points. Bob Huggins recently said that Javon Carter was as good as any on-the-ball defender he has ever had. Baylor has been battling injuries all year. They haven't had a practice all year with all 9 of their scholarship players on the floor, but they are starting to get healthier. And as they will get healthier, they're going to be a good basketball team. They've lost their first 2 conference games to Texas Tech and TCU, 2 tough opponents, before getting a big 69-60 win at home over Texas. I love the way LeCompte is playing. Joel Achul is playing very well as well. They're combining very nicely. Saying all this, I just didn't have the confidence to go against West Virginia. There was some talk in the chat, interesting stuff about the game. I know Joey D was talking about how West Virginia can create turnovers and Baylor is susceptible at turning the ball over. I can't quite find it right now on the talk. There's a lot of great stuff being said, but in all of that, I just didn't feel like I had enough of an angle that I could truly trust and believe in to give us an official pick and to put my money on. All
right, the Georgetown game is about to go off, and I mentioned that I kind of liked it at 6.5, but that I didn't give it as an official pick. Everyone's saying that they're liking Georgetown now. Mark Lathrop is on Georgetown +7. Sean Thompson saying the Sharps are on Georgetown. Everyone's liking Georgetown. So yeah, but the game is about to start. In fact, I believe it's probably already started. Mutt B says I got 6.5. Everyone liking Georgetown. That game has second half written all over it for me, and I am going to take a look at it and think about it a little bit more. All right, let's review. Oh, that one other game, Richmond. Did you look at that one? Everyone's liking Richmond here. I was thinking that Richmond might be a good play as well. Jimmy the Bag, did you look at that game at all? Richmond, a small home dog against Dayton.
I did not get a chance to get to Richmond.
Yeah, the line is getting bet up. Richmond against Dayton. Richmond, another team that can be very mercurial, up and down, and Dayton obviously a solid squad, but they are beatable, and I was definitely leaning Richmond as well. Think about maybe making that as an official pick. Let's see. Let's review some of these comments that are always very interesting.
I also wouldn't mind touching on a couple more games before. Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I think this Ole Miss Auburn game is very interesting. I tried to find an angle on this, and I had to let it go. I think the line is very tight. Auburn's won 12 straight games, ranked for the first time in 15 years. They're led by guard Mustafa Heron, who is averaging 15.9 points, 5.6 boards. Sophomore guard Jared Harper does a great job at distributing their point guard there. But they don't have a lot of size. Ole Miss is coming off a giant win over Mississippi State, but they don't have the size to take advantage of the smaller Auburn front court. I didn't feel like I could make a move on this one. And the other game I just wanted to mention is a game that Max is on. He's on Eastern Michigan. I tried to get on it as well, but just couldn't find it. Central Michigan has a lot of length and athleticism. They're 43rd in the nation, allowing just 65.7 points per game. 6'11", 224-pound senior that they have will have his hands full with 6'10", 240-pound junior James Thompson. This guy, Thompson's having a season. 15.7 points and 11.7 boards for Eastern Michigan. He combines with 6'9" junior Elijah Minnie to do so much damage down low. I tried to get on board and just didn't feel like I could find it enough. And that caps all of the games that I've looked at.
Okay, let's look at some of these. McGogster likes the Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan game over. Yes, I was thinking that way as well. Eastern Michigan has been very low scoring recently, but I think that might be serving to keep the number a little bit lower. We'll revisit that in a second. Let's just go and check some of these. Let's see. Whoa, Sean Thompson saying St. Louis getting it done at home, not scared. There you go. Wow. Finally, we have an opinion on St. Louis. First opinion on St. Louis that I've seen out of all the many opinions that have tumbled in on that game. And Rick H. Pretty much summarizing it up, St. Louis is just not good in caps. DJ Boss, Big Boss saying, shout out to Act Maxwell Smart 420, great capper in caps. Yes, absolutely. That is absolutely the case. People should follow him on Twitter and everything and listen to what he has to say for sure. Let's see. Everyone liking the Hoyas here. I was leaning that way. Didn't have the balls to make it an official pick. Let's see. Other comments here. Scanning. JP Fay, my gut is going Michigan, but I laid enough pennies on Oklahoma, Tennessee, URI, and Penn State. Yep, Maxwell Smart Richmond is a damn fine home dog. Cast them against Davidson. That's what I was thinking as well. PB38 liking the over in the Michigan game, but Mark Lathrop saying I'm on Purdue, Michigan under first half and full game.
Doubling up. Saw that as well.
That's not good to see. Mark Lathrop reads pace numbers. Very important numbers there, Jim.
Oh, yeah. And any time that Lathrop comes on and says he's on with me, I swear we hit an enormously high.
Last time I went against Mark Lathrop, it was in the Chicago-Dallas game. I took the under on that one. I took the under 212.5. The line closed at 211 or 210.5. Strong line movement in my favor. And Mark Lathrop was right. The game went soaring over.
Speaking of that, Lathrop and I are both on the over in the Mavs Magic game this evening. And I'm telling you, when Lathrop agrees with the play of mine, we hit an enormously high success rate.
All right, I'm going to be thinking about that when we get to NBA, which we will be doing in a second. Bradley Oliver said, did you guys show the NCAAB records today? No, we did not. Well, we showed it in the morning show. I'm actually up 23 units on the year, but I'm down pretty significantly over the past couple weeks. My high water mark was in the upper 30s in the units, and now I'm only up 23 units overall, which of course is great. But I gotta be careful here. Joe D saying he likes Texas Tech money line plus 120 for 10 units, and that of course is already Jim doubled up on that one. He took the first half money line, which wound up being plus 125, and the full game money line at plus 120. Let's see other comments. Maxwell Smart saying VCU is going to destroy Duquesne. Yes,
and he's got a really great read on Duquesne. So this isn't a team that he always fades. Like he'll take them when he sees the time is right, and then he'll fade them when the time is right. I find this very interesting that he's so against it. It's so interesting that I almost want to blindly tail it.
And one hard yo on VCU -9. I was thinking about the under, but the total is headed up, and the under is kind of an obvious place, so I'm going to pass on that one. XV Dynasty says Purdue Michigan is a stay away game. That I could see that.
Yeah, and I stayed away from it. I wish I want to bet it just because I want to watch it so badly, but I had to. I just didn't feel confident on an angle.
Purdue, Nasty Nate likes I'm on Purdue. Stephen Allah says I like Purdue money line. A lot of people liking Purdue. R. Burke says look at VCU. A lot of people liking VCU. A lot of people liking Purdue here, and a lot of people, everyone liking Rhode Island except for one guy who was Sean Thompson. One guy saying he likes St. Louis, and Mark Lathrop really liking the under in the Purdue game. I gave as a lukewarm pick up the Michigan game, the first half over on that one at 66. That might be a loser. I gave about 5 or 6 picks here, and hoping to go 4-2, 4-3 on all of my picks overall. An interesting card. I'm going to be looking at a lot of second halves tonight. Anything else that has caught your eye from the comments, Jim? Anything else you want to bring to our attention, or shall we move on?
I'm okay to move on. I absolutely am in love with this card. I think there's a lot of opportunities. I believe I made 10 or 11 picks, but I'm confident that I will. All I'd like to do is be up 1 unit would be fine. But I really think there's some good spots, really good spots, and it's just such a treat to cap these games with all you guys, and of course with Pete beside me, it's just a treat.
Absolutely. John Thompson saying I disagree on Duquesne. All right, okay, a lot of interesting comments here. Let's just quickly, a lot of great comments. Let me just make sure we're getting all the comments before we move on to NBA. Let's see.
Oh, there was a lot of talk too, and I left this game alone. I was going to really cap this game, but there was a lot of talk about Alabama having partying last night.
Really?
Yes, because they won the football national championship, and these are 20-year-old kids.
The basketball players were partying with the football players, right?
Well, the partying with the school.
That's right.
And so I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then I saw that Max was on Alabama, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to pick games where I can find angles, that seems like there's going to be stuff that's out of my control, that's out of my knowledge, so I left that game alone.
I was thinking about a shot with the under on that one, but again, this is one of these early January totals that makes me feel a little bit nervous. Reminds me so much of the recent Tulsa-UConn total where I took the under at a kind of a similar line. Game went soaring over. So this game, could easily go under, and it might be a good play, but I'm going to stay off of that one.
Native Queen is on Alabama under and first half under.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's how I was thinking as well. That's how I was leaning as well. I'm going to hold off on that one though. And all right. Very, very interesting stuff here. Very interesting stuff here. Once again, I did not have time to look in depth into all the games 8:30 and later. If there's anything that I want to add on to my official record, I will tweet it out and that will go on my official record. As of right now, let's review the picks and let's move on to NBA line movements. I've given Ohio first half -0.5 and full game -1. Akron first half +3.5 and the full game +6.5. The Bowling Green game under 153.5. The Indiana game first half over 67, and the Michigan game first half over 66 -110, which might be a dead wrong pick there. Mark Lathrop is on the under first half and full game on that one. And the last time Mark Lathrop and I went head to head on a total, although it was in the NBA, but the last time that happened, Mark Lathrop was totally right, and I, as well as the market line movement, was totally wrong because I beat that under by 2 points. So that meant, you know what that means? That means that I can be a little bit self-satisfied when I look at my losses and when I enter the L into my spreadsheet.
Definitely.
I can go, that's an L with an asterisk. That's an L, but I beat the line move. L, still it's an L, right, Jim? Unfortunately. Jimmy the Bag is on Tennessee -1, Penn State +1, Nebraska -1.5. He took a position on the controversial Virginia-Syracuse game. He's taken Virginia -9.5. Iowa State +16, Seton Hall Pick'em, Tulane moneyline +155, along with a whole bunch of commenters in the morning show said they were like Tulane. Jim is taking the money line. The Rhode Island line -6.5 against St. Louis, and BC +14. Looks like a little bit. God, I mean, UNC just looks like they're so overvalued. They lost outright to Wofford, and then you're like, oh, well, was that a speed bump? No, their next 3 or 4 games in a row, also overvalued, also shaky.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think they're overvalued constantly during the season.
Yeah, it's just, will they come out here and all of a sudden put it together? Maybe BC on the first half? What do you think about that? Let's check that line here. 7.5 or 8. What do you think about that, Jim?
You know, I like it. I just already went against I don't like doubling up on games.
Yeah.
I just don't. You know that I like dogs.
Yes.
I think that's a good play. I think the first half is a good play. The issue is, you know what I do? I think that's a good play. I think the first half is a good play. When does that game start?
It starts at, I believe that's an 8 o'clock game Eastern time.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with the full game, but I like it.
Okay, that's about it then, I guess, for college basketball. Let's move on. Oh, and of course, Jimmy the Bag also added Tennessee Tech first half and full game in the morning on the money lines. Full game +120, first half +125. All right, let's move on to NBA. Jimmy the Bag. Let's move to NBA and let's check some of the line moves on the picks that we gave. We both gave Miami +5, right, Jim? Went down to 4 at 6. When we started the show, it was 4 across the board. No place even had 4.5. Now it's up to 4.5. Bookmaker just moved to 5, so some lot of money coming in on Toronto.
There is, and I did feel like 4 was too low. Mm-hmm. So I get it. I had to stick to my guns, even though it's been blowing up in my face for the last few days. But I had to stick to my guns, and so because it was under 5 in my book, I had to take it on the money line. I didn't have to. I chose to stick to the plan that I have. I'm not really confident in betting against a team that's 14-1 at home.
Right.
So I can understand when it went down to 4 why people started taking the Raptors.
And I liked the under despite the very low total. I bet the first half under at 106, and now that is down to 104, 104.5, or 103 at bookmakers. So I beat that line move right there. So if I have to enter an L in my spreadsheet on that one, I will be super self-satisfied when I'm entering that L in my spreadsheet. Let's see, the Lakers and Sacramento game, we were thinking maybe a shot with the over on that one, and that line has moved down a little bit. It is now down to 212.5 or 212 at Pinnacle. What do you think, Jim? Jim?
Sorry, what was that?
The Sacramento Lakers game.
I just find this extremely tricky. I could make, whenever I can make legitimate arguments for either side, I stay away from the game. And I can do that here. I could make an argument on the under. I could make an argument on the over. I could make an argument on the Kings, and I could make an argument on the Lakers. So I'm just going to stay away from this game. I've found the Sacramento Kings to be a very tricky team all year, and I'm staying off of it.
Mark Lathrop likes the full game under in Toronto with Lowry out. Let's look at some of these other comments here. Native Queen just on OKC first half. Okay. Moot Beast says NBA sucks. Okay. What else do you want to add on here, Jim?
For basketball, I'm adding nothing. I decided to stay off of the Blazers-Thunder game. What was the movement anyways in that spot?
Let's see, the Blazers and the Thunder. Let me find it. Blazers and the Thunder. Move to the under, that's for sure. Wow. I already asked you why the total is so low. It was 206 or 206.5 in the morning, and now it's down to 204.5 or 205, Jim.
I think... I know this Thunder team is hard to trust, but I do think they could really shut down the Blazers when they're playing at their best, and that might be an idea that they could hold the Blazers to a lower score. I just still, every time I think the Thunder have turned it around, they flop. I'm leaving this game alone, and thankfully.
Kobe Snowden just put Ball State. 3 exclamation points. Maybe that means he likes Ball State over Ohio. That would be that's not a good sign right there.
Wow, yeah. And Nasty Nate says Lakers win tonight. Nick Dial says Laker game going over for sure. One Hardio says Blazers OKC over. Wow. Okay. Caleb Sherrill says Vols beat Vandy. That's good. I'm on
Vols
that.
beat Vandy.
Let's get that cash, Caleb.
Maybe we should add on the over in the Sacramento Lakers game. That's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking about, it's going to be another over. Lakers are going to put up a bunch of points. Sacramento not necessarily going to be able to put up a defensive fight there. But the total's being bet down. What do you think, Jim? What's going on with this total?
I think that's an interesting spot. I mean, I'd rather have George Hill in the lineup if I was going to take an under. And
no, over.
Yeah, the over is an interesting play. It makes sense to me.
That's a lean for me. I'll take that one. Now that it's down to 212, I will take that one. Sacramento Lakers over 212 minus 105. That's the line right now at Pinnacle. I will throw that one on there for sure. We'll see where this one closes, but right now 212 minus 105 is the line at Pinnacle.
I like that play. I like that play quite a bit. But I'm going to stay off of it.
Okay. All right. And you have anything to say about the, once again, the Portland OKC total?
Lathrop's on the over with the Lakers. Do the play.
There you go.
McGogster saying hit that over.
Excellent. Good news. Good news. So now, now if I have to write an L in my spreadsheet on that one, I'll be like, oh, well, Mark Lathrop was on it with me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I could be 0-4 today, Jimmy the Bag, with 4 different reasons for feeling superior despite my 4 losses, right?
Yeah, I get it. I like it. I like it with De'Aaron Fox running the point. I think that over makes sense. And I'm going to take it with you guys.
Okay, all right, there we go. Let's see. Jim's taking the Lakers over 212 minus 105. Over 212 minus 105. Let's look. Nick Dial says, good play, Loshak. Very nice. A lot of Ray Uribe says Lakers will win and cover. Lakers will play fast. And if we're gonna do that, fuck it. Fuck it. Let's take the first half, too. I'm taking the first half. I'm looking at it. It's down to 107.5. It was 108 in the morning show. I mean, if we're gonna do that.
Cup of Sun says he's sending you guys. I'm sending you guys psychic visions for the future scores of games. Trust your instincts, always grasshoppers.
Oh, wow.
I love the.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. All right. I'm taking the first half over as well. First half, I need these units in the NBA, so I'm taking it over 107.5 minus 110. That's the line. It's across the board. Pinnacle has 107.5 minus 112. Everywhere else has minus 110. So I'm doubling up. First half over 107.5 minus 110, and the full game over 212 minus 105. All right. Thanks, Mark Lathrop. Thanks, everyone, for encouraging me to take the over on that one. That was a lean, and hopefully I'll be able to chop 2 units off my negative record. Jim just took it one way on the full game, right, Jim?
That's right.
All right, and anything else you want to add from the NBA here?
No, there's some interesting stuff going on in the NHL, so I'm looking forward to moving on.
All right, just one final word. The Portland OKC first half is now down to 99. What the hell is up with this line movement in the Portland game? Why is there so much pressure to the under?
Well, I mean, obviously Lillard not playing. You know, Shabazz Napier has done a nice job replacing. He looked good against the Spurs. Is he going to be able to look good against Russell Westbrook? I mean, it's a very, very difficult spot. I'm staying off of it.
All right. Yeah. Triple Beams 3 says sometimes Kings score like 89 points, which is what scares me. Yes, but I'm by all means on the over, and probably the Lakers team total over might be worth a shot as well, which would be less than 110 actually.
Yeah, that would be a more comforting spot, but I'm not going to double up on that game.
No,
but you know what? Now that you say it, I would have rather have taken that.
Well, you can switch it. You can switch it, Jim. You want me to check what the team total would be right now? Let me check at Pinnacle Sports. Let me check team total over. You can switch it if you want.
Know, I think that Randolph is not going to be able to be. He's not going to be very useful in this game. And knowing that De'Aaron Fox is running the point because George Hill's still dealing with the birth of a baby, his baby, I presume. I just think that it's I'm just going to stick with the full game over. But hearing that, what is the Lakers team total over?
109.5 minus 114.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm just going to stick with where I got it. I'm going to stick with the full game over, but Justin Searcy says Lakers team total over 110 is definitely the play, or is definitely in play. And Ray Uribe talking about the OKC game says OKC will look to match slow tempo.
Okay, thank you very much. OKC Ray Uribe commenting on why the total has gotten bet down. All right, let's move on to NHL. What do you think?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Let's move on to NHL. What has caught your eye in the NHL? Jimmy the Bag, of course, is given 4 puck line plays in the NHL, right, Jim?
I love the hockey card too as well. I think there's a lot of opportunities to make money, but the NBA is a little tricky. I was shocked to read that Brent Seabrook is a healthy scratch for the Chicago Blackhawks. Absolutely shocked, gobsmacked. They're obviously trying to light a fire under Seabrook. The Chicago's not been playing well all year. Their power plays not look good. And I guess Quenneville saying that he's a big part of the problem. It was just a shock. I couldn't believe it when I read it.
But that's not necessarily bad because maybe that means that the rest of the team will step up this game.
You're
right?
absolutely right. I was just shocked and just wanted to mention that.
Okay, so the puck lines that Jim took were Washington. That is right about where he took it. He got 155. It's still there at the Greek. You also took Tampa Bay, which was what was the line you got on Tampa Bay? I don't remember.
I got on Tampa Bay plus 165.
Yeah, that has gone down just a little bit. It's now into the plus 150. So nice little line move there in your favor. Also took Chicago, which I believe was like 265 or so.
Plus 260.
Plus 260. That's right where it is right now still. And Minnesota. That was a heavily agreed upon and endorsed play by at the last minute of our NHL segment by a bunch of commenters, and that one was, what was the line
plus
you got?
256.
Yeah, that line is right where it is where you took it. So yeah, it's a 5-cent move in your favor. All right, so Jim, yeah, on Minnesota plus 256. That one has moved slightly in his favor, not that much though. What else did you give here? The Washington line has not moved at all, so slightly in your favor. Tampa Bay line has moved a little bit more than slightly in your favor, and the Chicago line is right where you took it, Jim.
We the over. We did it together, I believe, right? The over 5.5 in Jets Sabres. We got that at plus 102.
And that is moved slightly in our favor. Now plus 100 would be the best line. Also the Winnipeg Buffalo game I took on the over, and oh wait a minute.
That's what we're talking about.
Right, the Winnipeg Buffalo game, and I also took.
We have the under in Panthers Blues. We got minus 117 there.
I took the Chicago Ottawa game over 5.5 minus 109. That's taken a big jump up. That's now up to a minus 120 market wide.
Okay,
very nice.
That's very
also
nice.
took the under in St. Louis, and that's taken a small 5-cent move in my favor as well. So that's
Great.
nice to see.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say, Jim?
Steven Alice says Florida Blues under, love it. Rem Most wondering better play Nashville or under 5.5 in the Nashville game. We talked quite a bit about that. It's just a tricky spot. What would you say in that question?
I was leaning. Pekka Rinne has definitely been getting gashed at home, so I would be leaning over on that one. I was leaning Nashville and the over. So I guess I would prefer Nashville on that one because I don't like the under at all. I was preferring the over on that one for sure.
Yeah, it's a tricky spot. It's a tricky spot. Maybe we can drop a very sweet comment from Dan Kelly. He said, after Al Gore invented the internet, it went for decades with no relevant
there
utility.
You go, Dan Kelly.
And then Loshak in the bag came
there
along.
You go.
Hallelujah!
That could be read though as sarcastic though, so I don't know if that's going to go on the on the poster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
that could easily be read as sarcastic.
Here we go. Andrew Cisneros says, Jimmy, bro, what up? Missed this show. Happy New Year's, guys.
No, Andrew Cisneros, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that great comment.
Aspire to it late says, Pete, I literally can't come up with anything to say about your outfit tonight.
Yeah,
well
I
played,
look kind of hip. I look kind of hip. A retro shirt. This is vintage. This was known as vintage with a nice little, a new high-quality black T-shirt underneath. I know how to dress, Jimmy the Bag. I know how to dress.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Don't skimp on T-shirts. Don't buy those T-shirts like 5 for $2. You want to pay a nice, $10 a T-shirt. Get high-quality T-shirts. It's the foundation of your entire look. All right. Yes, Dan Kelly says, not sarcastic. I love you guys. No home. No home. Oh, very good.
He means no home.
Oh, he does. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh.
No home would make no sense. What's he saying? I'm homeless?
Yeah. I think he was saying like, that's why I love you or something like that. But no, we know that you weren't being sarcastic, but it could be read as being sarcastic.
It just won't make the poster.
Yeah, exactly. And then it'll look like people were trolling us and we didn't get it, and it make us look stupid. So, all right. All right. Justin Searcy says, favorite hockey play, Minnesota -1.5. Everyone's loving them. Maybe I should go on this one with you. Everyone's fucking loving this one.
They're 11-1-1 in their last 13. And the reason at home, XL Energy Center, and the reason why we're getting such a big number is because the Flames come in after winning 3 straight.
Right.
That's why it's such a great spot.
Yeah.
Had the Flames come in losing 3 straight, we'd be getting a +175, +180, and it's that giant number I think that makes it so.
And actually
appealing.
The reason that I didn't give a strong opinion on that one is because I didn't have that was the last game and I sort of ignored that game when I was handicapping NHL. But I'm going to go on that with you. I'm just blindly tailing you and all the commenters. That's how much I trust you guys. I'm going to take Minnesota -1. The money line part of that will be -116. That is a line at a whole bunch of places. That's a market-wide line. And the puck line part of that right now that I will have to take will be +250. So I'm tailing you guys a blind tail on Jimmy the Bag and all the commenters. I'm taking Minnesota -1. Money line -116. Puck line +250. All right, Jimmy the Bag. Is that it for NHL?
Yeah, that's it for NHL. There weren't any wild spots that wild changes in lineups or anything. Here, YYC Golfer from Calgary says no. Calgary wins.
Ooh, why is that? I just tailed you.
Justin Searcy says Calgary ain't beating Minnesota.
YYC Golfer, why does he say Calgary wins? Why?
Yeah, I think that the issue with Calgary will remain that they're not getting secondary scoring. Yes, Ferland looks really good on that line with Goodrow and Monahan. It's one of the best lines in the hockey, really, because they're big and young and fat. They can do a lot of different things. In saying all that, I love taking a team that's 11-1-1 in their last 13 at home.
All right. Hopefully, I won't get burned by telling you guys. And I'm also thinking, we have a minute or two here. I'm thinking about throwing Nashville -1 on here, too. You don't like Nashville? I mean, Edmonton is so fadeable. Nashville has been struggling recently, but it feels a little bit like Edmonton's struggles are for real, and Nashville's struggles have been a little bit not so real. What do you think?
Nashville struggles exist because their best player is not in the lineup for 6 to 8 weeks, and they have enough depth to move beyond that. Jin Rummy, by the way, says wild, great pick, also with value according to my NHL model.
Nice. A model guy likes it.
Yeah. You know what? Robert Gilmore wants me to take a shot of that drink. But other than that, I could see fading the Oilers nonstop being a play, being a legitimate play that you can back.
Yes.
And that's about as much as I can say because Predators have looked susceptible. They got the big win over LA, and they put 4 goals on LA.
Yeah.
So that shows that their offense can still play. I expect Kyle Turris to step up in Forsberg's absence, Ryan Johansson to step up as well. But Forsberg's big and fast. And as I said before, when he went out, 17 of his 34 points are on the power play. This is a very good power play we're talking about. Justin Searcy took Nashville -1.
Yeah. I guess I'm just concerned that Renee has, you remember a few shows ago, some guy says Renee has been ass, which at the time we said not really, but he has kind of been recently.
And I believe that was Jay Peach. Because Jay Peach either calls something ass or open ass, and he declined to call it open ass. But he was probably ahead of the curve. Absolutely, Jay Peach was probably ahead of us. Searcy says, I just need Preds to take more shots.
And I mean, when you look at Edmonton's scoring from the past 5 games, right? Here are their goal numbers: 1-1-2-0-0. What's up with that? Is that going to change, Jim?
That is not going to change until they do something. Their team is slow and big. They're not giving McDavid any help. When they brought in Camilleri to help, I thought that was an absolute joke. It's almost the same as the Flames bringing in Jagger to help. It's just they're slow and they're just not a good hockey team.
All right, this is a lean for me, and I bet it. So I will throw it on. I will throw on Nashville -1. The money line part of that, -149 at Pinnacle. Puck line part of that will be plus 196, also at Pinnacle. So that's a small underdog line for Nashville -1. So I've thrown on Minnesota -1 and Nashville -1. Hopefully one of those will win, and then I'm gold, right?
Absolutely. And Lee Davis, I guess it was Lee Davis. He said that Rene was dog shit.
Dog shit, yeah. Yes. And I mean, the most important part of that is that it was accurate, right? Yeah. Now, do you think that's permanent? Do you think he's going to be able to turn it around at some point in the near future, Jim?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I think he's a quality goaltender, and he's not old enough to be really slipping at this
Interesting.
point.
Grabaka Mech says, always avoided this show, but this is awesome. Congrats, boys. Great show. See, there you go. I'm very curious. We might get some nice comedy here if we find out the reason why Grabaka Mechs avoided this show. Grabaka Mechs, do you mind expanding a little bit on that? I wonder why you avoided this show. Was it my ugly mug? Was it Jim's ugly mug? Was it, what was it? Was it Jim's kind of dumb vacant look on his face if you just take a screenshot? You know what I'm saying? I'm just from a screenshot, one could get the wrong impression of you, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man.
If you just saw a screenshot of you in a video, one could draw the wrong conclusions, right?
I guess so.
I mean, you don't immediately look at your face on a screenshot and think, this guy does sharp research, right? This guy is a research beast, right? That's not the first thing I think of, right? I don't know, man. Anyway, yeah, let's see. Grabaka Mex, what was your reasoning for avoiding this show to begin with? And do you know how hard that is to take someone who's initially skeptical and then to win them over in one show?
That's good.
There you go.
Good. We're happy to have you, man. Thank you for joining us.
SBR ownership, brass, and hires up. Take note.
We're running out of time, but Aspire to Elite does still want to know the story with the girl in your stash.
Oh, God. It's all over the place. There's like 5 different girls, 5 different stories. I don't know even where to start. I don't even know where to start. All right. Oh, shit. Oh, there you see? Here's the answer. Grabaka Mech says, I avoided it because I thought Jimmy was only a shtick. I don't know why, but I love this. You understand? You see what I'm saying? Listen to this. Marketing experts out there, people watch this show, they love it, and they don't know why. They just love it, right?
You know,
there's just something about it.
I would not have the opportunity to continue to sit here if I didn't wake up at 4:30 in the morning and grind.
Yes, I avoided it because I thought Jimmy was only a shtick, which is understandable, right? Look at Jimmy's face in the screenshot, or you look at his.
With this Jimmy's face.
I'm just saying, I can understand. All I'm trying to say is my face too. You know what I'm saying? I can understand why someone would look at us sitting here and be like, "Oh my God, what a load of shticky bullshit this has got to be." Look at this bunch of bullshit right here. But they watch it for a few seconds. What do you know, right?
Yeah, they believe in the research, but there's still people saying, don't change the subject, Pete. They want to know the stash story.
Oh, gosh. I don't know, man. What stash story?
Are you not going to shave it? Fucker.
There's been like 3 or 4 chicks who are like, I'm like hemorrhaging chicks left and right because of this fucking stash. You know what I'm saying?
You can't let it go.
I got to make a fucking decision, man. There's one hippie who seems to be, and I like hippies anyway, so you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So there's one hippie who seems to not matter at all. So it might be do we have to leave? Who's that? Is that Drew Martin?
Somebody's watching us. Oh, Drew Martin making
you want to come in? Do you have a show coming up or something?
No, I'm listening to your stats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, there's like, it's just like, listen, I'm tired. I'm handicapping everything. I can't tell any of the stories. There's like a million different stories. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay, but I'm going to be scared, extremely afraid if you come in without a mustache. I'm worried about our units.
I got to shave it at some point. All right, so let's wrap up right now. All right, but before we wrap up, let's quickly take a look at any interesting late line moves in college basketball, in any of these college basketball games that we gave. Central Michigan game, no line moves there. Wow, there you go. The Ohio game now up to 1.5 or 2. I took that one. I bet it. You know, someone else said that they liked Ball State, but I took that one. That line moved in my favor. No line movement on the Richmond game or the Tulane-Memphis game. Wow, Texas A&M down to 4.5. Look at that. Look at that. Jimmy the Bag, Texas A&M. We started the show, it was 5.5. Now down to 4.5 against Kentucky. So money came in on Texas A&M.
I get it. I think those bigs can push people around. The question is, I think what could possibly happen is the same thing that happened with McIntosh. When McIntosh came back, if your point guard can't trust his cuts, he's not going to play well.
Yep, the St. Louis, Rhode Island game moved up to 7.5 by tip-off across the board. And the 8 o'clock games have not seen any notable movement, but a lot of times that movement comes in the hour before tip-off, so that movement might not be there. All right, that wraps up the show. Once again, if I have any picks that I want to add for college basketball from the games 8:30 or later, I will tweet them out, and they will count on my official record. Let's just review all the picks that we've given in this show, and then we'll wrap it up. Jimmy the Bag added in the NBA, Lakers over 212 minus 105. That is endorsed by Mark Lathrop and a whole bunch of other knowledgeable commenters that we really respect. Jimmy the Bag has also in the NHL nothing. You added nothing, right?
I added nothing.
And in college basketball, Jimmy the Bag had Texas Tech first half money line plus 125.
Kentucky has a major injury.
Oh, there you go. There you
Green's
go.
Out.
And full game money line. He also gave Tulane plus 155, Tennessee minus 1. Some controversy on that one. Some controversy on that one in the chat box. Yeah. Penn State plus 1, Nebraska minus 1.5, Virginia minus 9.5, Iowa State plus 16, Rhode Island minus 6.5, which was the line at UWager when that line came out. But from the looks of it, it seems like that point won't matter at all. Everyone loving Rhode Island tonight. Maybe they win by 20. And Seton Hall, Pick'em, and Boston College plus 14. And my picks that I added in hockey, I added on Nashville minus 1 and Minnesota minus 1. In NBA, looking to get back into the black, I took the Lakers game first half over 107.5 and the full game over 212. And in NBA and in college basketball, I took Ohio first half minus a half, full game minus 1. I took the Akron game plus 3.5 and the full game plus 6.5. The Indiana game first half over 67 and Michigan first half over 66. That is a play that is not endorsed by Mark Lathrop. Mark Lathrop on the other side of that Michigan total. That makes me nervous, but okay. And I took the Bowling Green game under 153.5. And that's it. That wraps up the show today.
That's it.
Ooh, we do this twice a day. 6 o'clock Eastern Time and 12 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday card, 12 o'clock Eastern Time.